Data recently published by the National Bureau of Statistics show that the services sector was a key driver of Nigeria's GDP growth. With a substantial increase of 3.78%, the sector accounted for 58.78% of the nation's total GDP. Now, the services sector consists of several industries, from banking to retail and wholesale, trade, tourism, real estate, telecommunications, motion pictures, aka Nollywood, information and communication technology, entertainment, and education. Today we look at this arm of the sector, which is the arm that has to do with the media, and of course to understand how they are adjusting to the changing dynamics and challenges of these very creative industries. My name is Leah Katung, Babatunde, and it's nice to have you join me on Top Talk. Now let's meet our guest. Her name is Nnadi, and she is an entrepreneur and prominent figure in entertainment. She has an extensive experience in media, arts, and leisure, and of course, she is the Chief Executive Officer at 1% International Management Service Limited. Now, Stephanie has garnered significant administrative expertise in consulting and talent management, as well as collaborations with organizations and artists to execute diverse projects. It's nice to have you join me, Stephanie, on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Let's know, who is Stephanie Nnadi?
As you've rightly mentioned, I'm currently the founder and the CEO of 1% International. And I like to brag that we're the platform for the top 1%.
Is that the idea behind the name 1%? Because I was actually waiting to ask that question.
Of course, 1% of something is better than 100% of nothing. Yes, so when you think about it, it's better to just have the right people in your corner and be part of the good things and the news, literally. That's what 1% is about. Excellent.
Yeah, excellent. And why did you settle for 1%? I'm actually very curious. Why did you settle for 1%?
Like I said, 1% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So
it could be 10%. I mean, it could be 5, but you choose just 1.
1. You see, because of the attention it's drawing now to you, you want to know why. Some people come off and say, I have a friend that normally say that she's not even greedy, she's only asking for 1%.
Exactly. not a very Nigerian kind of thing, you know?
So we just wanted to have it out there, and that's what makes the organization. What is the catch when you mention a company and who is behind it, literally? So that's who we are, as one as it is, and one on top.
There seem to be a handful. You've had your hands in a lot of things. And how long have you been at these, and what is your coping mechanism?
We've been there for, I think, 4 years running now. And the coping mechanism for me is patience and perseverance. You know, because it's human capacity, you're dealing with people and all. No matter how advanced you are and where you've been, you have to see the reflection of what you're giving in your talent or the person, your client, or what you're trying to sell to people as well. So yeah, if you're not passionate about it, because that's what is driving it. Sometimes it's not about the profit. The profit is way out of it. If you put money first, we would have been out of business. So we just want to, I like to use the word paying it forward through people and trying to advocate for things that are right for them as well. So more like human growth for me. I like to see people win. I like to see people that have been there and just realize, like maybe superstars, they used to be superstars and something went south and they are there. They have the name, they have the numbers, and 1% comes in and sit with them and critically analyze what's going on and show them where they made that mistake and decide to be with them and walk through another phase of their life. I think that's what we're about.
You said 4 years, and my mind just flashed back straight up to COVID. How did you cope with that?
I think COVID taught us how to live with COVID. You know, it made us to wake up. I think the reason why we dabbled into it, first of all, was it was the regime at the time, We went to foreign direct investment. We had 1% manager. Went to foreign direct investment, where you bring in foreigners for investment and all of that. But at the time, the foreigners, even when they bring their investment, to take their money out was a problem. The only way you can do that is if you know the deputy central bank governor or something like that. So they weren't comfortable with, if the money comes in, how do they take their money back and all of that. So that was very stressful. And then I had someone I wanted to help, in the entertainment space. And I put like I said, I was in the space of putting people together and have investors that would be ready to, put money in someone. And when I put that together and I gave it to someone to manage the person, they failed. And so when I wanted to do for someone else as well, and then I spoke to my investors, they said, no, we can only do that if you are the one doing it yourself. That way we trust you, we know what you can do with it. Don't tell us you give it to someone and, so yeah. So that's how it started. So it was 1% actually was vetted out of love or, kindness for helping out. Literally. So during that period, we were at home and we were making a lot of calls and we were putting things, shooting videos and all of that. So once we came out of the pandemic, it looked like we were cooking something and then boom. Yeah, we started going out.
Okay, so those talents you had at that time, were they purely local or you had a mixture of foreign?
It's a Pan-African company. 1% is a Pan-African company. I just have few Nigerians, and like when Nigeria figured out that I was doing a lot around Africa, they took it very personal. And I remember when I go for interviews and people would ask, why not Nigerians? I used to tell them that Nigerians don't have problem, like what I'm doing, but it became a burden where some people that are very close to me, and I say, no, you can't do that. You have to do it at home as well, and show, you have to be good from home out and all of that, culturally and all of that. I said, okay, why not? So we have a few of them with us right now that I can tell you that it's something.
How are you coping with Nigerian investors?
One thing about investors in Nigeria is you have to have a relationship first of all. They have to know you. You cannot just wake up. I don't think there's anybody that wants to. Nigeria is not like a Western world that you have your documents ready and not somebody that you don't know you will just help you. No, you have to know someone. No matter how intelligent you are, you need a push. You need someone that will recommend. It's just like Abuja. In Lagos, you can survive, get into Lagos. You don't have to know anybody to survive in Lagos. But Abuja, no. Somebody have to stand for you. Somebody have to say, I know this person. So yeah. So that's the Nigerian factor for you. Making us look like it's not good to go to school. I don't know if that was right to go out there like that.
So now that you've mentioned Lagos, really we've over time heard that you can't just run in this sector without having your footprints in Lagos. Whatever you do in Abuja, if there's no Lagos connection, you just don't succeed. Is that so with you?
No, it's not. I'm an Abuja person. Lagos will have to beg us to get it. What Lagos have, like I said, in Lagos you just have to know the crafts and know how to do the razzmatazz and get it done, and people just jump with it. But in Abuja, you have so much that first of all you know the craft, and you have the pointers who are the people that would, from here you can control Lagos and all of that literally. Because what I'm doing, or 1% is doing, really, it's helping, trying to put things in the right places and all of that. So whether we're in Lagos, Abuja, or one village, we'll still do the same thing. It's not the location that matters for us right now. But we have branches all over. We have an office in Lagos, and then we have in African countries as well. So
we still have that Lagos leg.
No, the Lagos leg is like the production, like where because we always go to Lagos for shows and all of that, so you need to have a place where you don't have to travel with all of your crews from here all the time. So you have a group there that when you're in Lagos, they are there to take care of the coverage and all of that and handle some of the talents that are there as well. Yes, so you must have those things, stations there. But the headquarters, so yeah, you must have a place where you...
What are the other countries that you have your footprints in, and what are the experiences? I mean, I'm sure they're different from the experiences here in Nigeria.
Yes, I have 2 talents. They're usually the A-list. Any country that I've gone to is usually the A-list from the country. I have from Rwanda. I have 2 actually, a musician and actress. I have from Liberia. I have from Angola. I have from someone from Burkina Faso, I think. There's a lot of them cascaded all over the place. I have even Angola is a Portuguese speaking country, right? Because we always have translation problem with that. We have some rappers on it. Then we have some from America, because they are also trying to get into the market here. So when they know that you're someone that can put things together, so anytime they have business coming this way, they want their manager here to handle everything that have to do with Africa. I also have someone from South Africa as well. So it's a lineup of a whole lot, and it's not just the musicians or actress or spoken words people. I also have the people that are from the corporate worlds. So like I have a broadcaster under my label as well, that's in Abuja here. And I have people in government as well, that these are like my brand and corporate talents, that we...
So you need to hire me.
I already have somebody like you. You already know her. She's in the broadcasting that is very big as well. So like I said, all the people, they are top on the list. They have names, household names that when you call them, they know themselves. They are 1%ers, so it's all over the place.
I'm making that comment actually because I'm now wondering, for an artist or anyone at all in the creative industry, can that person survive without people like you and get their bearing? Can they push themselves, or they will have to get someone to manage their affairs?
No, it's always good to get someone to manage your affairs. Always good, because I have some of my talents that they were on their own, and when we took over, so it looked like it's business as usual, because you have people that will still reach out to them to try to price them down and say stuff to them and all of that, and now 2 things will happen to them, whether to say yes or no. Ordinarily, on your own, if you don't have any other person, if it was just you, it's your decision to take. But you can't take up a job when your management is there. They will find out, and you have a lot of things to answer to. And even the people that is hiring you may fall into dispute, depending on who is at the helms of your management. There are people that go through the letter and dot the T's and the I's, and you must follow the rules. And once you're not following the rules, it's usually a problem for the talent. So some talents, when they are not used to being managed, it's usually a problem. But it's always for their own, good, and because what we do is more like create the atmosphere of a star for you. What you do is just to be creative and let us think. The other things is for us to take care of it, and then you come out looking good, and they don't know what happened. So there's a fee for it. Maybe that's where the talents. And one of the things that happens as well, once you have management, whatever thing you used to charge before will change, because there's a whole lot of things that is coming. But now you're going with a team. You'll never go anywhere alone. And all of those things we're creating a lot of employment. We're creating, a lot of things, and you are not conscious that you're not just alone. So those are your friends that will make you call you to do some charity work,
some and very free stuff,
and and tell you, oh, family and all of that. So it's a very good way to give an excuse not to say, I can't do this. You have to call these people. Or sometimes if I want to make them feel some kind of, I say, even if you don't take any, you have to pay me. So now you're scared. and they're not paying, why would you want to pay for what you do? You know what I mean? And you're supposed to be doing it. But sometimes the management, depending on how, can do better and say, okay, leave it. So, because there's a time that we'll come and train on our own favors as well and say, okay. So if we have that kind of relationship with the management, it's still okay. But half the time, it's always good for the talent to have a manager. Yeah, it's good for them, good for your career. So you don't go talk anyhow. You get into trouble, it's your management that handle it. Because the media always poking the talents and try to know what's going on.
Because you will have to have that healthy relationship with the management as well.
Of course, of course. Your manager will have to know everything. So we are the ones, just like your lawyer should know before they get into to start defending you. So they don't look stupid when they get into court. You know, so everything that he should know, it's better for him to know it and to know the angle to present his case. So yeah, that's what we do. We are the ones that are behind the scene, doing the right things.
Have you had an artist or any of your talents like just get off and take a decision without your consent?
Yeah, of course that happens. You know, and it's funny because the people that we deal with are already
established.
Yes, they're already stars. You understand, and probably they were struggling, and then you would not put them together and they're back big again. So it's easier for those ones to look back and be, after all, you know me, and then they not forgot what you did for them to come back again. Yeah, so it gets to them. You know, for the talents, half of them they have, they already know their stars, and it gets to them. It takes some of them that have been there and have done it on their own and have seen the effort and what you're doing for them to swallow their pride to, go through the 10 years with you, right? Other than that, there are a lot of them that they are, if I use the word now, like they are just entitled. They just believe it's their right and all of that. And I don't think I don't think I want to be in a position where somebody that I'm helping, because I see it like I'm helping you, half the time I'm not going there for what I want to take from you. So once that twist starts happening, I withdraw. And I like my talents to have access to me. It's funny how Nigeria works, right? So I'm supposed to be the CEO, right? And my talent can call me anytime, and I'll take the call. And if it's something they need to do, if they have to go through the letter of going through the office and all of that, you know how it is, bureaucracy, this one have to sign, this one. And they, half the time they're very careful what they want to approve or not. So, and then maybe the last person might be scared to tell me because they're checking your mood and all of that. But I mean, I have a relationship with my talented calls and say, hey, CEO, I want this done, that I've been talking to this with another. So I just go straight up and send a message to probably straight to the bank, if you have to do with money, and tell the account to this and say, release money to this account, or I will explain later. And half the time, all of the time you explain, you forget that you're supposed to explain something. And now the office, we are waiting for this conversation to happen. It never happened. They start seeing the stuff happening, and they're wondering how
they got bypassed.
Yes, and then I'm like, oh, sorry, yes, I think I passed the message and not even done, you know what I mean? And that have really, really hurt us in so many ways. You understand what I mean? And it takes a lot. Integrity is the key in these things we do. And I like to tell people that it's always good to put a human face to everything that you do, because you never know. I mean, for somebody to come up and put in their hard-earned money in your career, it's not like they know you from anywhere. You just had a conversation with the person, and the person say, you know me, you know blah, blah, blah. And you decide, oh, let me take a chance with you. And they forget that they actually came to you. You know what I mean? So, because my position, I'm not looking, because I know I'm putting. So I won't be putting on, if I'm looking, I'll go to the grassroots. So what I do with the grassroots for me is just give and take care of it, because it's so much so much going into it, and you have to take, it's like building from the scratch and all of that, you know. So I thought it's easier with people that have been there. They know what they're going through. They know that nobody's there for them. It's been their struggle. And then this stranger, you just spoke to the stranger and said, let's look into it. And then we had a conversation. And it's always good when they're having that conversation, making you feel like once you're there, it's something. You understand what I mean? So yeah, that have not deterred us. I'm still ongoing, because I said to myself, I keep doing it until you have those ones. Now we have those ones. There are people that you have, people come to you and say, this person is going to deal with it. Trust me, those people they say that he's going to deal with it are the best candidates. You know what I mean? Because they already look cantankerous, right? So people want you sure you want this person in your corner? Those people are the, you know, makers and all of that. You know, it's just like, we have a project that, because I do a lot of collaborations, right? Apart from promoting people and all of that. There's a collaboration that I'm getting into now. You have to do with a stage play, the cultural diversity stage play that we're putting together. It's coming on the 1st of October.
Independence Day.
Yes. It's called Moha, The Beauty of a People. It's happening in Transcorp Hilton Congress Hall. You know, so it's a collaboration. But, you know, when these people, he's been doing it, you know, so if we come together as a team, like I keep telling people, collaboration is the new currency. You can't do it alone. You need someone that is seeing it from a different angle. You know what you know. You don't know the angle that I will see things from and all of that. So apart from it being just a stage play, we introduce other stuff on that day. There'll be somebody that is in government that will be the narrator of the play. Oh, wow. You see that angle to it now? We brought it on. And then we now decided we have to give them special recognition award. Heritage, you know what I mean? Like, those things are things about, you don't come and sit and watch play from. And then we have a good A-list liner that are going to be on stage that day, you know, which is what people want to see. It's not just any kind of play. It's a play that have to represent our cultural diversity as well. Yes, so we are live on the 1st.
Oh, that's great. We're going to go on a break now. And that is because I'll need you to catch your breath for this next phase of questions. So we go on a break and we'll be back shortly. Thank you for staying tuned. I've been speaking with Stephanie Nnadi. And of course, she's an ambassador. I guess you need to tell me about that.
Is it? Yeah, I almost wanted to say you have to put the ambassador.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I tell my friends now. I say, when they say, how do I address it? I say, there's an ambassador for my name.
Oh.
So that's if I have told you my name is Stephanie Nnadi, right? Because I'm used to being very simple.
Yes.
And then after I remember, so wait, there's an ambassador for my name. You know, yes. I was given the title by United Nations on Eminent Peace Ambassador.
Oh, wow.
You know, so yeah, if you Google that, you see my name atop, the Eminent Peace Ambassador in Nigeria and Africa. And it's been a roller coaster for me and been a blessing. And just recently I received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the White House.
Oh, wow.
And the city of Georgia gave me a proclamation as well. So I just tell them that I think I'm doing something right.
Oh.
Yes, yes, and also I got the one from Pan-African Leadership Award, you know, Pan-African American Leadership Award as well. That was last year. And so when the international doors open for you, when you're not even looking, all you have to do is just be grateful to that many people are watching. Because I had this Lifetime Achievement Award thing that you have to pay so much for it. And it just, somebody recommended me, and when they called me, I'm like, oh wow, what do I do now? You know, so, and remember when I picked up the award, I also spoke and thanked everyone for seeing that there's something that we're doing right, literally. Because what we do really is to invest in people. And trust me, there are people that are speaking out as well to say they are grateful for what we've done for them. So the good is better than the bad anyways.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. You've also made it to the top 100 women list in entertainment. Want to tell me about that?
It's just things humble, doing things and you don't know you're doing it. The entertainment thing came easy for me because over the years, I've always been the one behind the scene. My friends, a lot of my friends are in the business, not just business, they are movie stars and maybe there's musicians and all of that. They are my mutual friends, I know them by name, you know, we can talk. And it has never been a thing that I considered going into. So what I was doing for them was helping them behind the scene, you know. So it's easy for me because I already have relationship with people and they can tell you that she have been tested. I remember when one of them wanted to get in with me and he's like, I need you to be my corner. I'm like, why? He said, because all of these people looked like they want to hustle me, but you're not hustling anyone. Yeah, I say, yeah, it's okay. It's okay to be me. But sometimes I tell them I don't want to be me because people just ride on who you are and believe that they will take advantage of it. For me, I think they're fooling themselves, not me, because we are doing this thing for greater tomorrow. We're leaving a legacy. So it depends on how you want to handle it or where you're looking at. But the thing is that someone will remember you when you're out. And what have you done? What legacy did you leave behind? That's where we're focusing on. And that's why we're 1%.
So, really, I'm also interested in knowing how do you do it? I'm asking, how do you do it in terms of the industry as a woman? How do you cope with your male counterparts?
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that.
Because a lot of people will say it's a man's world, you've got to struggle, you've got to do some things, you've got to perhaps settle to get some things done. Is that the same story with you?
No, it's not the same story because like I said, I'm a free bird. And my friends are cut across. So coming into entertainment, it's easy for me. Like you can't, nobody will use my style to get to it. You know, half the people that are going into it, they're going into from the business angle of it to make money. And when the money is not coming, they get angry and get frustrated and close shop, you know. But for me, like I said, I'm looking at it from a different, I'm seeing the future and where I'm going, driving. Like I said, you know, it's a learning curve as well. You learn, you grow. And because they know that I'm not, if I come to you for something, I'm not coming for what I want to get out of it, take from you. So they always relax when I'm there. That's why I say I'm a free bird, you know. I know being male, female, for me, they say, is it not? They say, no, she's maybe there's something she even want to teach us or help us with, right? So they're comfortable with that because for me, there's no competition. You feel like you're, after all. So I tell people, what is it that you really want to do? I'm the one that you come to. I'm always the dot to connect. I'm the one that is always in the middle. So if I'm that person, what are you scared of? There's no competition. I'm not gonna, when I want to brag, I tell some people, female, that is supposed to be on my gender, and I say to them that if you go into a place, you can go into a store where you buy your handbags and all of that, that I will never go to the stores. So there's no competition. I go to a different store. You understand?
Is that a CAP idea?
Yes. Like, you know, you're going to go and do exactly. So I'll just go into so there's no competition. You will not have, you know, and for the guys, they just know they are already comfortable with their own skin and feel that they're already on top. So I'm not trying to be above them. I'm just in my corner, and it's okay. I'm not in competition with anyone.
So what was the driving passion behind your gender activism?
I think because the way they look at it, you know, God created women differently and gave us all of the strength and the knowledge that we have to drive anything and the capacity to rebuild. And so you see a man being the leader, but the person that governs is the woman, because she tells the husband or whoever, that the brother or whoever, to this is what the angle that would be good. It's always good, you know. So that's why they tell you, if you have a good woman next to you, you have good results and all of that if you listen to them. So the thing is that because of that, the men, some of them cannot handle that, women, and they decide, let's show them. If you're bigger than me, don't show me. Just be you. So the attitude for me is find a way for them to come out more and showcase that which you already have. It's not like you're going out of the place to do what you don't have. It's what you have, and to reassure them that it's okay. It's never too late. You know, it's never too late to start whatever thing you have your heart, mind building, because in all of us, as a human being, we were built differently, and there's a purpose for each and every one of us. So it's for us to start manifesting it. If you start manifesting today, it's still okay. You know, for me, I have a saying in Igbo. I'm Igbo, by the way. I keep saying that Osita demauka de waramabu, right? So if you start being good today, it's still okay for me. I don't have to wait for you to start being good tomorrow, right? So that's a saying that keeps me. So no matter what you do to me, and you summon the courage to apologize and all of that, I'll say this and then I'll move on. Yeah, so that's it. So we try to push the women, because when a woman put to bed and become a mother, they feel they've lost the essence of who they are and all of that. And then they move the focus from themselves
to the child.
Yes, to the child. And that's their life. But if you can, you have the child, you have your family and all of that, and you still remember that there is you before all of these people, you'll be a happier woman. Because all this resentment, all this lashing out, is when they remember that it's because of you. And when it's bad, when your partner, your husband, is not the one that have encouraged you and all of that, the hate becomes too much. So you see a woman that is supposed to be young, all of a sudden she's older than her mom. Yeah, and they're fighting it. So we try to encourage and tell you, look in the mirror. You are everything good. You have embodiment of everything good, and that you have a purpose in this life. You know, just reassuring them that, and then you're not looking down at anybody, and they are seeing that this person is speaking. There are a lot of people talking now. Have you seen these chief judges speaking out and all of that? Not on the bench. They're giving public lectures and all of that. That's how it should be. That's a strength. You know, you just see a judge talking, and he's not in the court. And he say, I am currently a judge. And, you know, it gives you that, you know, looking up and saying, yeah, so I can actually do it. She's a mother and she's juggling all of that. So that's the kind of things we want to put in their head, to say, it's never too late. It's never too late. Just pick up where you are and go.
Yeah, and really, that takes me to my next question, time management. Of course, for we, it's easy to multitask and do a lot of things at the same time.
As a woman.
Yes, what most men don't get to understand how it works. But when you have typical shows in Nigeria, for instance, that's African time mentality. How do you handle that?
Patience. First of all, you have to designate and learn how to work with people. You know, people don't go to shows early enough because they believe that they don't want to be the one to start it. It's not their show, right? And then you see them trickling in towards very late and all of that. It have to take, a time will come when people will change all of that. I know somebody that starts a show when they say it's 8 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock. If you don't show. So next year, you know, it's 8 o'clock. If you're not there, the show will finish before you come. You know, so that's why we try to, if it's a paid shows and all of that, you try. But then, you know, the talents and the artists won't like that. They like the crowd. So for some waitresses, they want to wait till the place is filled up and all of that. Other than that, if it's not Nigeria, the time is time, they just do their thing and leave whether you're there or not. Because they've been paid for it anyways. So they're not waiting for their own content.
I was actually going to ask you how it operates out there, if it's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. They work with time, because even the people that lease the place, they have timing for you as well. You have to work on their own time, or they cancel on you and they won't refund you. So you have to do what you have to do, or you pay them more money to stay on and waste your time and wait to do that.
How do we disabuse our minds from this kind of practice?
I think it's an African thing, and we all believe in the African man time and all of that. Disabusing of mind will be, maybe you tell them that they are sharing money before the show. Yes, they wake up and they'll be there before you. Yes, because I'll take this for example. That was an event we had, and we have to do it with finances and all of that. So part of the criteria to get the money is for you to go for training and all that, which, you know, when they say, terms and conditions are applied, those terms and conditions, they never explain it to you. They tell you what it is. And the bankers wanted these people to come for some training before they release the money that they've announced that they won. And at some point I had to get frustrated with the bank. I got in touch with the financial, because I went into collaboration with them, and I asked them, why are you trying to take out some people to get the benefit that already announced that they have and all that. They said, no, leave it for us, because, so are you saying if we had announced that we're releasing cash 6 a.m., they will not be here 6 a.m.? You know, so that's funny. I said, okay, you know how to handle this. And I mean, bankers are not sentiment when whether it's your money or their money. So long as you put it in their care, they will do it the right way. They would rather say, come next year. The money will be there. The owner is not taking it. It's in our custody. Next day you apply properly.
Start afresh. And
do the right thing. But they cannot just throw the money out, because there's strict instruction. When we spoke to them, we told them it's not politics money, it's not government given. It is our hard-earned money, and we want to really know what they're doing with the money. It's not money for somebody to go and marry or buy a car. No. We say it's business, and we'll monitor you as you grow with the business. We need to see it, because once we do it for you, you have the same mind to pay it forward to other people. Yes, it's not political money. We're not running for office. So
did they show up?
Of course, some of them that are really serious, that know that they don't have anybody to help for real. They were there true, and they got the money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they went for it. And, you know, those bankers are not playing. They even went to see the location of their business. And they made sure half of these people, they don't have a CSE, anything. They tell you they want to start business. They've never registered, not even an enterprise. You know, so but with the bank putting them through, and the people that went through it, they were very happy that they did, actually, because they opened their eyes to other stuff as well. Yeah, so yes.
And that reminds me, really, it seems over here we don't take these trainings seriously. Does that have an effect on our general output?
Of course, yes. You have to, knowledge is power. You need to just apply it and get it. Knowledge can be you traveling around the world or going for these lectures and seminars and all of that. It's very important. We need to relate and know how the different diversity and cultural heritage is, you know, as a human being. You cannot be an island. And not this world now. You know what I'm talking about? Like our days. Okay, let me give you a typical example. My priority and my mother's priority is not the same. My mom's priority right now is my daughters get married and have grandchildren, and that's her priority where I am now. But that's not what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Like, it changes as you grow. Then my daughter's priority right now, it's do I really want to go to boarding or stay at home? That's the only thing she's thinking about now. You sure really is good for me to go to boarding school or just stay at home? You know, it changes as they go. Maybe it's the fear of the unknown and all of that for them. But I know when we were growing up, we literally lived the life of our parents because we also saw what they went through. So if they say sit here, we sit. And if they hit you, it's like normal. And it's out of love. But
kids these days will ask you questions.
I don't know, they would ask you, why are you doing that? You don't have to do this to me. You know, so they call it a lot of names, you know. So it's very difficult to have very cultured kids now. They says, if you have one, just go and thank your stars, because by the time those kids will say some stuff outside, you'll be shocked what they say about you. You're wondering, you sure I gave birth to you? Yes.
So how are you dealing with regulators now, the government people?
It's everyone. I mean, you have to use your home to know my home. It's everywhere there. I think the government is trying their best to see what they can do with everyone. You know. So these days, you might just stay in your own house or your office or wherever you are. You bought your own TV. And then probably you don't even have the TV set, but you have to pay for it. That's for whatever. The first time I heard that, I freaked out. I didn't understand what it was, but someone explained it. I said it up. And one of my arguments at the time was, can I take off this DSTV that I paid for at the TV? And they even told me, no, it doesn't have to do with anything. It's the area, you know. So it's crazy how, but I'm hoping that this our present government will look into. There's too much hardship, and I'm hoping that they'll come to terms with the reality. Half the time, the person at the helm of the affairs hardly hear these things. They just shade it from him and all of that. I'm hoping that the right person would speak to him, the person that he will listen to, not politicians. And not sycophants, you know, people that are trying to get one thing or another. Somebody that would look at him and remember or remind him who he used to be. And he should look towards the right direction, because the ones that rooted for him really did with all their hearts. And they're hoping that it will be better. You know what I mean? As it is now, even those that rooted for him or not, everybody's going to the same market, the same filling station, suffering the same thing that is happening now and all of that. I pray that the message will be clear and that he comes out to be the same man that he is, that knows how to handle things and people, literally, because I know he's a man that have an idea of how to handle people. And once that comes back to mind, I'm sure we're good. That's it. Because it's from him the regulators will. And every regulator is trying to impress their bosses. And that's what it is. For now, when I see the police people stop you on the road, I just looked at them and say, you see the rich people, right? And you just leave them because they are the bosses. But you capitalize on the people that you know that do not have anybody that will help them. And you take that little car that they will use to feed their family and go and lock it up. That's wrong. I want human face in everything anybody's doing. And put yourself in their position at all time. That helps. I think we should, really. And don't intimidate, because it's intimidation that's happening in this country. The way a policeman would treat you in Abuja is different from the way a Lagos police will treat you. Abuja police have respect. Lagos police. So you.
So I'm going to take another question on ease of doing business, but of course that will be after this break. We'll be back just right after this break. Thank you. You're still dialed onto a top talk, and I've been speaking with Ambassador Stephanie Nnadi. Ambassador, tell me about the investment climate in Nigeria. You gave me an earlier example of how your foreign investors were really worried about taking their resources out of Nigeria. Has that changed?
It's the same thing. You know, it's not easy to do business in Nigeria anymore. So we are hoping that this administration would help. Like I said, the man at the head of the affair knows exactly how businesses run and how to navigate that where he is. So yeah, if they can, I noticed that there's a lot of things happening now. They're trying to ease off the borders and all of that. Yes, if you make it easy on the investors and they see that we are hospitable as usual, yes, of course, they'll start coming. But like I said, I've not really dabbled, I've not really bothered about that, because half the people that you're trying to talk, they keep asking you the same question. Is it easy for us to get? A lot of all of these airline now have issues with getting their money back and all of those. Those are the things that investors are worried about, you know. So the dollar to naira and all of that is also frustrating them. Today is 1,650. You go back tomorrow, it will be 1,670. So it's like they don't know. If you had given a proposal for $1 million, that's what you wanted. By the time they'll be ready to send money and it depletes, you know what I mean? It won't be the same thing of the investment they're trying to do. You tell them, you keep dancing, and you're not paying them in dollars. You know, but I'm sure that even at that, we don't even have dollars to give them. You know, even when they bring down those monies, you have to go through a lot of process and the frustration. So, yeah, so the ROI is usually a problem for them, and they decide not to stress it till it stabilizes a bit. Now, half of what the airlines are doing right now, it's they've started to open a portal where you have to pay in dollars, instead of in naira. Yes, a lot of them. I think the embassies have started doing it as well. So that way they are not stressed with. So if it's $1 you pay, it's $1. So it's not naira that fluctuates and all that. Let's see if that can help stabilize the naira as well.
So if you look at this scenario and try to factor in all the other dynamics, can Nigerian business people like you operate in Nigeria successfully without foreign collaboration?
It all depends on the kind of business you do. You know, if you're a trader and you have to do with just dealing with locals, oh yeah, of course, we have the market to consume whatever thing. Like, let's say you're a farmer and all that. Local consumption is even more and all that. But if you do a business that you need the international collaborations and all that, no, it won't succeed. It's two-way game. And but that is why whatever thing that happens, you keep seeing all of this diversity that comes up where people say, whatever thing you do, you're fighting a particular tribe. They are the ones that brings it. Even if they bring it for $1, they come and tell you it's $2. They are not losing anything. They still have a way to bring these things and all of that. So we have to try to find a way to harness what we have and work, you know, see how. I saw, was it in news or something going around social media, talking about this, I think you have to do with, I saw where they demolished this farm this guy have, and then he killed a lot of livestock.
Yeah, that's a common life Henrich.
You know what I mean? Like, at this time, everybody's hungry.
And incidentally, that young man actually made the list of 30 under 30.
Oh, wow.
Forbes list, yes.
Oh, wow. And now this happened to him. It's very sad. Not now, because people are trying to get into new things, get into farming. I mean, the advocacy now is to farm. One of my talents actually produced a movie called The Farm Boy. You have to do with farm as well, just something to promote farming and to encourage people to go into it, no matter how classy you are and all of that. They're trying to throw that advocacy out there to let people know that it's not bad to be a farmer, and that's also the business side of it, that you can make money out of it. Oh, I have a young man who came to my office with a lot of brought eggs and toilet rolls, chicken, you know, like that, this from his farm. And when I gave it out to some of my people and everything, they called me and said, this is the best egg we've eaten. I said, no, I actually got it free. Somebody brought it. Even the person that brought the person to my office, and I said, you're not a reverend father, they're bringing.
Thanksgiving and harvest.
And this is what they give them. I'm like, really? There should be one now, so that I'll be eating what they eat. But you know, it was very healthy. Yeah. And you could see it, and then it drew attention. I had to go and make them boil one for myself. Oh yeah, that's true. When I was growing up, this is what egg should look like, not what we buy these days. You know, you buy it and then you're worried, like, should I eat more than one or? Yeah, so yeah, they should actually encourage. They're young. This guy is very young, and his farm is massive. And this he brought to me was the harvest. Imagine at this time somebody's bringing plenty crates of egg. And plenty, and you're like wondering what's going on. Are you still in the same country? You know, yeah, we have to encourage people to do the right thing and sell. The good thing is, whatever thing we produce, we can consume, because we have the numbers. You know, so yeah.
Moving on now, your biggest wins, and of course I would need to hear that. And what is your standout biggest challenge that you've had to deal with?
It's usually human, and the one that kills you is trust. Half the time, the people that gets to you are the people that you feel that they are the ones that will be with you and stand by you. So, for me, I'm better as an investor and all of that. So you put your money in this individual and believing that we can grow it, and then they turn their back on you and all of that. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is never to fight for money, no matter how much it is. I always look at it as it's just money, it will come. And then how do you live with yourself? If somebody like me that do not put money first and will look the other way, you know. So the big win for me is to see the people that have put in something grow, and that they are alive to say it, that even when they're not saying it to you, they have people that they're saying it to. So you walk into a place that you don't know. So there are a lot of things that happen to my mom, and then she will come and say, I went somewhere just... So in my head, I would just say, oh, it's paying it forward. I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing things for people. In turn, it's rubbing off on my family without them knowing. It just happens. Like when something wants to happen to you, someone just comes from nowhere. And half the time, you don't even know who they are. But they probably know you and won't even tell you that they know who you are. And they've heard of you. If you're good, people know. If you're bad, they also know. So it all depends. When you're in a situation and somebody comes in, walk in or walk out, that's how you know who you are. You understand? I've been in a lot of situations where I'll get into a place, maybe people are having issues or something, and I didn't know about it. And somebody else says, let's go, you know. So when they get to the place, they will tell me, oh, wait, maybe your waiting area. I will be quick. Let me just say. And then they get into the office. The person is looking at their camera and they say, is that not, can she come in? You know? So I come in, and the person looks at me. I'll probably not remember who the person is. And I say, just sit in and listen to this. That's the only time I will know why those people came. And at the end of the day, you just say, what do you think? Yeah. You know what I mean? Of course, I'll tell them the truth. And I'll tell them, like, I'm just hearing it for the first time. And this is wrong. I wouldn't have been here if I knew this was what to do. That's the end of the case. I hope people know they don't take me to the wrong place, because I will say it as it is. Yes? So I think, yeah, the big win for me is doing the right thing. Believing in those things that you put out there, that it's, whether it's good, it's ripple effect. Whether it's bad, it's ripple effect. You know, so whenever I go to give an inspiration or talks and all of that, and I tell people, whoever you want to be that person. If you decide to be a villain, make sure you are good at it. You know, it's not the one inside the house, you're good outside, or you're good outside, you're inside, you're good. No, don't do that. Be one person both ways. If you're out, the same, in-house, the same. So that way you can live with yourself. Because the worst thing that will happen to you is when you can't live with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you can't look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself the truth.
What would be your biggest achievement? What will you describe as your ultimate goal?
It's already in the making. Like, I'm a futuristic person. And in no time it will, I mean, I can't let the cat out of the box because we already started doing it. It's something that is very massive, and we are cooking it. And when is that? You should be the first to know because you'll be there to talk about it.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, but we don't want to start blowing our trumpet yet till it's out there for the world to see. It's just like coming into you're still there. You know what I mean? This is not a house that you would hide. You know what I mean? The way it's situated, the color, and the massive. You know what I mean? So, yeah, when we get there, you know, it's never enough. But the ones that will touch the life, like I said, for everything that I do, is human capacity. And for me, once there's a living being that will pay it forward, it's good for me.
Are you, though you've sounded that way, worried about how the country is now and perhaps how citizens can at least help themselves to cope?
I think what we can do as individuals, as human beings, is just be kind. In no matter how little ways you can do that. No matter I mean, some people are very selfish to want to have a lot. Just your little kindness, out of kindness, can go a long way. Because people are really struggling now. It's really, really not for the core Christians. They want to be using the bad. It's bad, no. They just believe. And there's a casting that there's a lifting up and all of that. Yeah, it's okay. But I think kindness will help at this time, no matter how small, no matter how much. Sometimes it's not even money. Sometimes it's what you have that you know you don't even need now. Someone really, really needs it. Right now, we should be a brother's keeper. Because for Christians, right, the greatest commandment is what? Love. And the second is like the first. It's still love. So yes, we have to show love.
Do you see Nigeria getting to that point that everyone will say, we made it?
Yes, of course. And if there's anything that we have as Nigerians with our diverse culture and over 400 languages and all of that, is hope. We have hope, and that's why they say Nigeria is the most happiest people in the world and all of that. We always find humor in our suffering and all of that, and find a way to laugh over it. And yeah, once you have hope, it will get better. But I pray that that we continue to be this way and try. Half the time I tell people, most people won't bother to do a lot of things that they would have done in the past because at the time they want to do it, they get a little change in their pocket, so they relax and all that. But I'm sure that one day that we'll get it right from the people in government, because we actually have the right people there. They just have sycophants around them that do not tell them how we really feel outside.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
So basically, the bureaucratic processes are also some of those things now. It's not just about the people around them. I mean, you've got to talk to multiple persons. You've got to move files from one person to the other. Isn't that also part of the problem?
It is a problem, but like I said, if you have a leader that is diligent, that goes out of their way not to go through the process. You know, sometimes that's a process, and they decide, no, I want to see what's going on here. I want to know what, because half the time they're actually working for you, and they're trying to impress you. And depending on how they try to sit on what they don't like, what is not beneficiary to them, they can leave you there for days, and it's probably top priority for you. And except the person knows you directly and calls the leader and say, listen, I've been here, this is what, and then the fire comes up. I still think it's the person that is at the end of the affairs that would control and change the narrative. If one person starts it, all of these things will be bygone. Once you know that you're answerable to someone, all of that will change for good.
Yeah,
it's always the boss. There's always the boss. Just come out and show that you're the boss. Not sit around and let them do the job.
Okay. I must sincerely thank you, Ambassador, for making time out for this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. And you have a beautiful place. I love it.
Thank you. And I'm glad you love it.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so it is the much we can take on this episode of Top Talk. Until we come your way again, same time next week, I remain Leah Katung Babatunde saying, be safe out there and God bless Nigeria.